Hey guys, so I have a brand new episode of the Andrew Stedl Podcast all ready for you to enjoy right here, right now. So while I was editing this footage, I noticed the video footage from this video podcast was unfortunately too blurry because the autofocus was on. So with that said, I edited it to the best of my ability, and I hope you guys still enjoy this. Me and Alvaro had some great discussions, and let's just get right into it.
Oh, hello there. It's just me and Alvaro actually doing a podcast for once.
What's with the skit? We can just
What's with the
start.
skit?
We can just start it.
We already started. I already turned on the camera. We're already starting.
All right, sure.
Sure. Hello, America. You can see I'm terrible at segues here.
We really are.
We really are, yeah.
No, you are. I think I got this.
Nah, you got everything, man.
It's on me now? All right.
Oh, no, it's not on you. It's on me now. All right, so today it is another episode of the Andrew Stedl Podcast. And yes, it's actually Alvaro here. Actually here.
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip disc copy.
I swear I can't with you sometimes.
No, dude, that song is awesome.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, did you see his SNL performance or no?
I did not.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, with the full band and everything, Jack Harlow was like awesome, dude. Legit.
Nice.
But today we are here to discuss our favorite albums that we are obsessed with.
I didn't bring my albums.
Yeah, I know. I put you on the spot, didn't I?
You really did. You coming in here prepared with like the albums. You probably got like notes and everything.
Oh,
written
yes,
down.
I have all my albums here. And he's just got all his like fly clothes on right now.
I look nice, all right? But yeah, that's what we're doing today. Music, and we're going to talk about it, you know? Just what we like about it.
And you are obsessed with Tyler, the Creator, is that correct?
I am correct. I got the
As you literally have golf wear on right now, everywhere.
I don't know who's starting. Are you going to start?
Well, you're my guest. I'm going to let you start,
Oh,
actually.
sick. I'm actually not going to start with an album from Tyler, the Creator, but
Oh,
I will eventually. We're going to get
Okay.
there. I think an album I recently started obsessing over is Michelle's Heatwave. That's a really solid
Ooh,
album.
okay.
Yeah.
Sell me on it. I've never heard of that one.
Huh?
Sell me on that. I've never
Sell
heard
you
of
on
that.
it? It's this nice little it's nothing necessarily new, but it does something that I think is a nice, wonderful combination. It combines like a lot of like in-house music, you know, like guitars, like drums, basses, you know, already pre-existing instruments, uses that. It also combines nice funky electronic beats, something not too different from the 70s. Like it's this nice little combination of nice little funky electronic beats and nice, you know, drums and bass lines and guitar riffs. And it's like a nice little combination of just a lot of the band's personal experiences with love and just cute little sweet songs. Like it's a fun album. You're not going to have a bad time listening to it.
You're not going to have a bad time. Unlike listening to Goblin. Uh-oh.
Oh God, I swear. If you're not prepared for that album, sheesh.
Well, I mean, just not that, but like Goblin is this weird thing of like, back then we didn't understand everything about Tyler, and now we kind of do with everything coming out now.
So weird having listening to that album with everything we know.
Well, back then we just thought he was a teenager yelling at the mic, and now it's like, oh yeah, we find out it's just more than that. Obviously,
he's just having a bad time, and now he's having a good time.
I think it's more than just him having a bad time. He just wanted to break out and like express himself more, and he did get to do that, but we didn't fully understand what he was trying to do at the time. That's the thing I think about it.
Oh.
Yes, awkward silence.
Yeah, there's awkward that means it's your turn.
It's my turn. So the first one I want to discuss is Bill Withers' Greatest Hits. Now, this is the vinyl edition.
There's a shrimp on the back.
There's a shrimp on, yeah. This is a very interesting vinyl right here. It's not just any old normal vinyl. You know, it's, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Yes, if you ever heard that song. It is the yellow Walmart edition, and don't be, you know, turned off by me saying the word Walmart. This is actually a really quality vinyl, and if you don't know who Bill Withers is, I mean, you probably do. He's got hits like Just the Two of Us, you know, the Will Smith song sample, Just the Two of Us. Use Me, Ain't No Sunshine, Lovely Day. I mean, I could go on all day. This right here is the perfect little compilation of all the songs that you need right here. I mean, there's other compilations. This is the one that I would recommend everybody listen to for sure.
It's just a little compilation where you just turn it on, you just have fun. You just have fun with the music.
Yeah, it's only $20.
That's not bad. Sheesh, I might have to get one.
I mean, there are older pressings of it that are a little bit cheaper, but that specific pressing is very interesting to throw on because it's all bright and yellow and, ooh, shiny.
Nice and warm. I like that. I do dig that.
I do dig that. I do.
Honestly, yeah. Walmart has been pretty good for records, weirdly enough. They've
been
recently.
hit or miss. I mean, I've seen a lot of people complain about them, but every time I buy a record from them, I never experience these weird skipping issues that people say they have.
I don't either. I don't. I usually don't.
And if I do, it's always just for a split second, and then I clean the record, and then it fixes it within 5 seconds.
I mean, one of the best albums I ever got from Walmart was To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid.
Well, of course.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just a solid album all the way through. I mean,
truthfully, that's where I bought all of my hip hop records. Honestly, most of them, at least, for sure.
Yeah, I think I also got my copy of Igor there too. But we're gonna talk about that.
No. I bought Igor. Well, I was one of those, I'm going to sound like a hipster right now. I was those early adopters who bought it on his store.
Ooh, bought it on the golf
shop. It came with
shop.
the sticker and the poster. I would run and go get it right now, but we're all mic'd up here.
We are all mic'd up, all right? We're stuck to these microphones. I can't really sit in fun poses because I'm going to trip over the wire.
You're going to trip over everything. But yeah, Igor is probably where everybody would, I mean, I don't know. Flower Boy is where I think people discovered him. But then again, also Wolf was kind of that, tipping point for a lot of people.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because I think Wolf was the first thing. Was that the first time we heard Pharrell production? I think so.
As far as I'm aware. Yeah, because a lot of it was just a lot. It was a lot of Odd Future stuff. It was a lot more of an Odd Future based production. Even though I know for a fact Tyler probably did most of the production on Goblin.
True. That was really the first time we got to see a serious side of him. Well, I mean, that was more of it than before, I would say. But then again, Flower Boy is where it really came into his actual image,
Yeah.
Obviously, there's songs like Who Dat Boy that are a little bit more, just him messing around with the mic.
Yeah, and it's fun to hear that. It's fun to hear stuff reminiscent of the old Bastard and Goblin era, while also hearing some stuff not too far off from the Wolf era too. I think Wolf is that nice little blend. It's. Here's my segue to my next favorite album, Wolf. Yeah, we're going Wolf. I like Wolf. I think it's a really good project. Is it his best?
No.
Not by a long shot. It's not the worst either. If I were to really narrow it down, it would probably be Goblin, Bastard, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, Igor, then Wolf. Or Igor, then Flower Boy. Those two are interchangeable to me because they're just really good, really solid. But I like Wolf because there's a nice little charm to it. It's just, you can tell Tyler's maturing, but he also wanted to do the, hey, what if we had more of, when I started off kind of vibes. And I like it. I also like that it tells a story. It's a nice little concept album.
Now that's the one with Domo 23, right?
Yeah, Domo 23.
That's where we still get a little bit of that immature version of Tyler. Where
Same with Tamale, to a lesser extent.
Yeah, that was considered controversial, wasn't it?
It was. You told me about the music video.
Dude, I tried forever to find the Insane Clown Posse clip where they showed it, and I swear to God, this is like a Mandela effect thing. I swear it was on YouTube. And I could not find it. I tried going everywhere. It's never anywhere that I found. Although Tyler explains it apparently in a video, but
I mean, yeah, to an extent, that whole scene is just him and I don't know if it was Jasper or Earl, but they're doing blackface and they just are dancing around in a classroom.
Well, no. Aren't they doing whiteface? Though?
No, they're doing blackface.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was blackface. They're doing blackface. They're dancing around in the classroom. They just smash a watermelon and they bring a goat out. And I think the text was, we had something planned for this, but people aren't ready for an intelligent dialogue.
Oh, wait a minute. No, but didn't they do whiteface too and they just left that in?
Yeah, they did whiteface later on in the music video, and I think that was fine, weirdly enough, but...
Weirdly enough, yeah, because people do get offended about that now that I'm thinking about
I always
it.
think of that Teddy Perkins episode from Atlanta.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that episode. We gotta show Jacob that episode.
That episode is just ridiculous.
It's
But I love it.
It's a terrifying episode, not gonna lie.
Hashtag we need new Atlanta season right now.
I know, like Donald's gonna see this.
Yeah, but like FX is like, we owned by Disney now, so you're gonna have to wait on that one.
I find that weird. Yeah, I was in my hospitality management course, and we were on Disney's website for hiring. Atlanta was like one of the featured things on the, like they had, picture scroll by. Atlanta was weirdly enough featured like right there. I'm like, holy shit, that is Donald from Atlanta. What is he doing there?
Well, hold on a second. He has a relationship with Disney, though.
He does.
He did Solo.
He did do Solo.
So hold
correct.
on. I'm sure that they're all behind him. I mean, it's Childish Gambino, for Christ's sake.
You talk like Donald Glover and Childish Gambino aren't the same person.
I don't know. What do you mean? They're two separate people.
You're right. I haven't seen them together in the same room.
You know that guy from Lethal Weapon? I think he's pretty cool. I mean, he had a good solo album.
I swear to God.
I swear to God. Segues. So my next one is Big Sean, Detroit 2. Now, I'm not familiar with Detroit 1, but Detroit 2 is, honestly, I would say, and this is probably a popular opinion, this is Big Sean's most mature album to date. And that's saying a lot from the same guy who made the song called Ass, 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 Ass. And now is literally, talking about mental health and, death and life. And I mean this all seriously. Like, he actually discusses this, not just like one song like some people would do, I mean, the whole thing front to back discusses that. There's some like obvious things that he discusses that he usually discusses, but I do respect him opening up about a lot of stuff. But I mean, you got features from Post Malone, Ty Dolla $ign. I mean, the list goes on, and of course the late Nipsey Hussle on here on Deep Reverence. It's just a good album, man. You should check it out, if anything.
I probably should. You're the one who's started to get me into Big Sean. I still have to explore more of his music. I'm still listening to that Single Again song.
Oh my God.
That's a good
song.
song.
That song is like... this is going to be a bold claim. That really did save me a little bit, because it was like such a great song.
You're going to be the meme. Your music saved me. You've literally never been in a relationship. Give me one of those memes.
Oh, that's another story for another day.
It's like one of those memes. Your music literally saved me. I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are. Well, I don't know. I don't think an artist has to directly know who you are. But then again, also, it's not just the artist saving you. It could feel like that, but it's not just the artist saving you. It's you saving you from yourself and using that to save you. God, we're getting all deep in this podcast.
We are
now.
getting deep. This is some deep stuff right here. We're like a boat stuck in a canal right now.
But Single Again is like one of those deep songs where he does directly like tell the audience, I've tried drugs, I'm single again, I need to love myself, I care about mental health. These are things, if you would have asked me in high school, hey, that guy who made the Ass song.
He's gonna be
and did
sad.
the song Mercy with Kanye West about ass tray. Oh yeah, no, he's totally not. Oh nope.
He's gonna be sad in a couple years. Watch out, it's gonna hit different.
I mean, do you think the song is sad? He sounds pretty happy for the most part now.
He does sound. I mean, I think that's more of a tonal thing, because you can make a song sound melodic and happy, but like underneath, it's a really sad album.
There is some sad parts to it, I suppose. He's opening up about certain things. But yeah, you have a fair point. Melodically, it has a happy tone.
Yeah.
But definitely some of the subjects in it are sad.
I think to an extent, Blonde can also be done that way too. Yeah, that's mine. That's my next one. Blonde. We're going Blonde. The one album I want to own, but I do not want to have my entire tax return go to. I swear to God, my whole tax return will be going to that album if I'm not under check.
Well, not just that. There are a lot of versions of that floating around.
There's like the bootleg.
What's real and what's not about that one.
Okay, truth be told, I really want to get an official copy of Blonde, because from when I hear the pressing, it sounds nice and it's warm.
Good luck.
It's like over $1,000. Jesus, my entire tax return and stimulus check are going to that vinyl.
I don't care how rich or famous you are, no vinyl's worth $1,000.
Blonde is.
Listen, I know it's a great album. It's a beautiful album. I'm starting to get it's a good album. It's a great album.
It's a great album.
Huge album. but there's no... listen, and I love that album to death. I would die for that album. Not literally, folks. Okay.
Man would not die himself for Blonde.
$100 maybe. $200 possibly. $1,000.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna head out. Like, I don't need to spend $1,000 on Blonde.
I do.
Oh, wow.
Not yet, though. Maybe in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blonde, amazing. I actually used to have a weird relationship with that album, and by that I mean
Everybody did.
I didn't like the first like 2 tracks. Weirdly enough, when I first started listening to it. Keep in mind, I was just hey. I have an appreciation for Nike and Ivy now. All right. Ivy, I had a dislike for that just because of the name. It was someone I knew. That's different though. But Nike, I thought it was a weird intro. But now as I'm listening to it more and more, I'm like, yeah, this kind of slapped though. Because like it was so different from what we got from Channel Orange.
But tell me that you like the Andre 3000 part.
Oh, absolutely. Solo Reprisal, that's a good song. Do I think it's better than the first version of Solo on that album?
Well, they're 2 separate things, though.
They are 2 separate things, but I actually do really like Solo. Actually, has to probably be either my first or second favorite song off the whole album. I think Pink and White is objectively a better song, but I don't know. I think
it's a good album. I mean, my favorite, because I go more towards the Andre part a lot. I go back to it so much.
And to an extent on Pink Matter, I'm always listening to that Andre 3000 verse on Pink Matter.
Oh, yeah,
really
that one's pretty good, too.
Like, this is going to actually be two of them, I guess. Blonde and Channel Orange, because they're both really good.
It's hard to pick which one, though.
It's much like the Good Kid, Mad City and the To Pimp a Butterfly thing. They're both really good, but they're both interchangeable. Like, one is better than the other, but which one is it? You can't really decide because they're both really good in their own little separate things. But I think what's nice about Channel Orange and what makes it different from Blonde is that, like, okay, they're both almost the same in concept. They're both about Frank Ocean's personal experiences and what he's experienced in life. But what I think with Channel Orange is the way it's formatted. It's a really nice format. It's just Frank Ocean just listening to like the radio and turning on his TV and booting up his PlayStation.
And not just that, it's a Grammy Award winning album.
It's Grammy Award winning. And I think it's good. Every time I turn on Channel Orange, even when I hear the whole like him skipping through tracks on like a radio or him switching the channel on a TV between infomercials and whatnot, I don't skip that. Usually some albums I get so annoyed with skits to the point where I just kind of skip them. But with Channel Orange and to an extent Blonde, I have a fun time. Like Facebook story, it's kind of depressing. Man lost his girlfriend because he wouldn't accept her on Facebook. That's kind of sad. I hope he's doing good.
That boy is sad.
Be yourself. A weirdly positive motivational message that has to do with, hey, don't do drugs unless your doctor tells you. I looked way too far into it. It's probably more obvious than it is, but to an extent, I feel like there's a weird. That skit to me is all like, oh, you know, the older generation will believe more, you know, doctors, but listen more to the media. But, you know, if a doctor tells you to do something, it's fine. But if someone from the news from the media says, you know, also to do something, also do it too. It's weird. I don't know. I'm looking too far into it. I hope that made sense. It probably didn't, but.
Well, yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, but as far as drugs, I mean, that's up to a person, though.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm not encouraging y'all to do drugs. Drugs are no good. I mean,
correct.
Unless dare I say, unless they're prescribed by your doctor.
Well, I'm not saying like, you know, hey, I got subscribed. Obviously, we're not talking about stuff like that. We're talking about, you know, like pain medication, you know, marijuana, stuff like that. That's all a case by case basis, you know. Mm-hmm. But as far as like pain medication, you can get it, like that. That's a serious problem. Like, yeah, you should get that prescribed, obviously.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust over-the-counter pain meds because that just leads to a whole lot of problems.
Yeah, it does. But to piggyback off of something you said about the skits on albums, mm-hmm. So I see a debate on some people listening to The College Dropout by Kanye West.
Kanye West isn't that good.
Oh boy.
I'm kidding.
Because I typically see a lot thrown around that vinyl edition at Walmart. Like, it keeps going on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And I look at it and I go, oh, I want to buy that. It's a classic album. Oh, No skits.
No skits. The skits are gone.
What I think is important about hip hop skits and like rap skits and just skits in general on albums is, does it tell a story? Is it necessary? Because I've listened to so many albums this year and I'm like, why is Snoop Dogg doing a fucking Scarface impression on this album? No, wait, it wasn't Snoop Dogg, sorry, my apologies. It was Nas doing a Scarface impression. One of the two.
I always think of that scene from Atlanta, the first episode. Oh, you got this many songs and this many skits. I'd cut them. The skits are good, though. I'd still cut them.
But the thing is, like, College Dropout, like, if you remove the skits, you're removing an ongoing story of somebody, like, wanting to drop out of college. And it tells an actual legit story.
And that's why it's called The College Dropout.
And if you remove all those comedy sketches, mind you, that is by a specific comedian, I don't have the name, my apologies right now. If you remove all that, well, then you're removing the story arc. And yes, College Dropout is still a great album and it tells a story on its own. You should have the skits. I mean, just pay the extra $4 to get it online, for Christ's sake, instead of going to Walmart and wait it out. Which segues into, hey, telling a story, Nas.
Lil Nas X?
Now, this is Nas's King's Disease, also Grammy Award-winning album. Right here.
I'm also choosing Grammy ones too.
I know. This was a very controversial pick, though, apparently, because a lot of people were pissed about, like, you know, I mean, I love Freddie Gibbs. Alfredo should have won. Ooh, honestly, absolutely. At the end of the day, I knew this album was gonna win it.
Ketchup and mustard.
Because Nas, like, had been fighting for years to get a Grammy win. Years and years and years. I don't know if he was exactly fighting. I don't know if he even cared after. Well, I mean, he didn't even bother showing up to the award to get the award. I mean, he accepted it because I saw him on Instagram accepting it. But to segue back into this album to me combines Nas's old school style with having, you know, features from Big Sean, Anderson .Paak, A$AP Ferg, Don Tolvern, I hope I said that right, Lil Durk, production by Hit Boy, I can't even say that guy's name, Charlie Wilson to mix it up a little. Ooh. The Firm track, good until Foxy Brown comes in. I'm going to keep saying that till the rest of the day. That's the only bad track to me off this whole thing. I love everything about this album besides that track. Because not only is it a well-produced album, it combines old with new school in a way that could, to some, could be corny. To me, it's not corny the way that he blends those two together. Which is why I think I'm happy for it to win a Grammy. I had a struggle with this album, though, and I want to vent for a second here. I had to go through 3 production sites to get this version.
He tried to get me copies, and he's like, it's missing the song. I'm not going to give it to you.
So it wasn't missing a song. They decided to move 27 Summers over a track, but not fix the track listing. So this particular version on Turntable Labs is the actual track listing. Why this site, I don't know. I absolutely love this variation. Don't know why this is the one. So don't go on Amazon. Don't go on Walmart. Don't even go on Nas's website because they won't do anything for you, mind you. I asked them and they were like, well, I hope you're happy that you got it. And I'm like, okay, thanks there. Get it off this website specifically if you want to get the version with the actual track listing. Now, the reason I'm frustrated with that is because I had been listening to the album for months and I wanted to grab the vinyl. Oh, hey, sweet. I'm just going to continue listening to it. Oh, why is that song not there? Looks like I got to replace it.
It took you like a month and a half, and then you finally got the official. You finally got the true version.
Mind you, I didn't even know when I was buying this one if it was legit or not. Which I could have cheated and looked on Discogs, which I found out later. Like, oh, this is the actual version. Thanks. Okay. Appreciate it there. Thanks for telling me now. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorites from 2020, honestly. One of my favorite hip-hop records of, like, last year.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out my favorite of 2020 to an extent. I think this is going to segue into me just talking about the entirety of Childish Gambino's discography, because I love that man. Childish Gambino, I'm sorry. He's like one of the first hip-hop artists I truly started to listen to. It was kind of weird, because I really didn't know much about him. I think This Is America had just come out when I started listening to him. So
and that was his return because he had done that other record where
Awaken
it
My
was
Love,
more like, I don't know, jazz, soul. It kind of combined a bunch of stuff.
It was psychedelic with some moments of R&B and old school.
I guess like some songs had rap involved in there. Yeah. Just little parts of it.
If I were to really nail down what my favorite Childish Gambino albums, it would definitely be Because the Internet and Awaken My Love, and to an extent Camp and 31520. I think
just like the whole albums.
I like all of his albums. There's something so unique about each of them that I really like. Because the Internet, for the way it has this really interesting storytelling. For those of you who don't know, there's a screenplay that goes along with the whole album. I think there's also a video called I forgot what it was called. I was thinking about it earlier too. I thought way too hard to the point where I started coughing. What was it? What was the name of that video? The video he did for the.
I'm aware of what you're speaking of, and I can't remember it myself.
I can't remember it. Hold on. I swear it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna have to actually look this up. Hold on.
Segueing away, cutting away,
bro, give me a chance to figure this out.
I'm gonna give you a chance. Hold on. I'm just gonna play Jeopardy music. I
swear. What is it called? What are all these I found the video, but it doesn't have a title. What is it called? I swear.
Can't remember it, neither can I.
I found the video, but I don't know what it's called. They didn't put it on here.
I don't think it specifically has a title.
No, it does. It actually does.
Oh, yeah, it does, actually. I can't remember. It's been so long.
I was literally thinking about it earlier, too. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what it's called. Clapping for All the Wrong Reasons.
Ah, thank you.
About time. That's what it was called. Clapping
That's
for all
what we call real-time looking up, folks, right there.
Clapping for all the Wrong Reasons. I think that's such an interesting album. It tells like three different stories. You got the original album if you just wanted to listen to it that way without really knowing what the screenplay was. With the screenplay, and then the music videos tell a weird story about how Childish Gambino gets turned into an alien and takes over the world. That man is, I love that man. Childish Gambino, he's a great storyteller. He's a great writer too. 30 Rock?
Well, also a great actor. Yeah, no.
He's a great writer, actor, producer, musician.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna pretend he's the new Lion King, but yeah.
Okay, I actually kind of like that. Not as much as the original. I kind of like it though.
You like CGI tigers?
I can get over that because Childish Gambino's smooth, buttery voice.
All right, rant time. I don't like that movie.
I know you don't. A lot of people don't. I have a weird soft spot for it because I took my brother to go see that.
But you're telling me you like the third act where they zoom into characters and you can't even tell who they are?
I really no. That's like if we remove that scene or maybe change it up a little bit.
I mean, okay, I will give it this. The music in and of itself, I would not complain about it. It's pretty solid.
It's pretty solid music.
Pretty solid. I mean,
if we were to, okay. I think one of my friends we went to go see it with I went to go see it with not only my brother but a couple of my friends too. I think what my friend said it was. If it wasn't for the original, I think it would be a really good movie still. But because we have the original, that's why, it's not as received well.
And I love Jon Favreau, but no.
Oh, yeah. Jon Favreau has his moments. The Chef is a pretty good show. Is it a show or a movie? I don't remember.
No, it's both, actually. There's a show on Netflix as well, not just a movie.
The Chef?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no. It's
Jon Favreau.
It's just Chef, not The Chef.
I thought the movie is called The Chef. But is the show just called Chef?
I mean, like, that movie, the show I haven't seen, but the movie itself is pretty cool.
I heard, yeah. And, we gotta rep the culinary industry.
Jon Favreau barely has any misses. I mean, I know people are gonna say,
Iron Man 2.
Zathura.
Iron Man 2.
But, Zathura is like...
Iron Man 2.
I've seen it recently in the last year, and I think it holds up. I'm not gonna say
Iron Man 2 is Jon Favreau's miss.
You really think it's a bad movie, huh?
Yes.
He's probably right.
Because I am.
He's probably right. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with dumb things. I mean, that's why I like Bloodshot so much.
I know.
It's
You
dumb.
like that movie.
It's so dumb, but I have such a fun time.
I
Jeez.
won't lie to you, Vin Diesel, you know, his little, oh, we family.
No,
Yes,
but I always
family.
return.
Oh, I love Vin Diesel. I just love him though.
I love
That's
that
why I
man.
haven't watched it with you guys. I was like, let's watch
I love
Vin
that
Diesel.
man. He's in the car movies, not
He's
the
in
one.
the Cars movies.
No,
I'm a car.
no, not that
I'm Vin
one.
Diesel.
He's in the car movies, not the Pixar ones. The one with Paul Walker. You know, Paul Walker of Tammy and the T-Rex fame.
I just want to say, I would have paid $1 million to watch a movie with Vin Diesel just dubbing over cars. I'm gonna go fast.
Is it just like the Gilbert Gottfried dub of what is it of 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh my god, I'm not gonna even quote that because it's ridiculous.
It is.
But I will say a very I guess controversial opinion, I suppose. When Paul Walker died, I honestly think the Fast and the Furious series died with him. I don't know if you've seen the movies after he died.
I've never seen any of the movies. Period.
Dude, I mean, it wasn't good.
At the time, it wasn't my thing. I have no idea if it is right now. Probably
We
not.
should probably watch them.
All of them, all 8 of them.
There's more than gonna be eight, right? There's another one coming out.
When is it coming out?
I don't know. They keep delaying that shit.
Is it coming out? Is it gonna come out this year?
I don't know. We'll see.
Online, there's this weird theory. There's this weird theory online. Well, not weird theory, but something.
Theory? What theory is this?
Something people have pointed out. Not really a theory, but something people have pointed out. Every time Tyler the Creator releases an album, it's always within like a couple days or like a couple months of a release of a Fast and Furious movie. It's so weird.
We'll see about that. I don't know.
Well, hopefully it happens this year.
Well, all I know is for the new trailer, they showed, I think the car tightroping onto a rope and then circling around the it was just I know that they're not going for realism, but
I think
after
the third movie is when realism went out the door, I think.
Well, not just that. I mean, at least those movies make you ignore the realism by having style. But now it's just kind of getting fucking ridiculous.
So basically what you're telling me is Fast and the Furious is just one big car anime in real life.
It never used to be that way. It literally started as Paul Walker being an undercover cop in a racing circuit and having a cool soundtrack. And then trying to find these people stealing DVDs. Oh yeah, remember those things, people? A Relic in Time DVDs and VHS tapes.
Bro,
remember those?
I love my. I have a VHS player somewhere in my house.
I did it. It was still definitely that way in Tokyo Drift. It was still that way in the second movie. It was somewhere around the fourth movie. Somewhere around the fourth movie they started doing. It was whenever The Rock decided to jump in that they somehow turned it into a bank robbing heist movie with a couple races spritzed in there occasionally.
God.
And characters just randomly coming back to life with no explanation, mind you.
Like I said, it's just one big anime.
I mean, literally the character from Tokyo Drift comes back, dies, and in the new trailer they're like, hey guys, I'm back. And I'm like, oh, fucking come on right now.
Sick. A second hat.
Seriously. Boy, give me that back. But seriously, Fast and the Furious, stop. Stop it right now.
You think?
Stop before it's too late.
Who owns them? Warner? Not Warner. Universal, is it?
I don't know who the hell
that.
it
The
is.
studio is not going to look
Universal.
at
I know it's Universal.
Universal will not sit and watch this just for us to complain about.
I'm not asking Universal to sit and watch my podcast right now, but I'm just venting for the fuck of it. I will say though,
Carfu.
I will say one positive thing about the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Soundtrack's pretty banging.
No matter if the movie's crap or not,
the soundtrack will always be
somehow
banging.
the soundtrack for every single movie always is great. Even the outro songs. Somehow. And somehow they made Kodak Black bearable.
Just like an animes never made Kodak Black bearable.
I mean, that would be awesome. We'd be like, no, guys, what's up?
No,
this is a terrible Kodak Black impersonation.
We already have a Jaden Smith anime. We don't need a Kodak Black anime.
I never watched that, but I'm hoping eventually someday he can get a win.
I never watched that either.
I mean, Icon was okay, I guess. I listened to it a couple times and I was like, I mean, this is fine for like a hype track, but I'm not gonna like legit listen to this. I know he did that song with Tyler.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool.
Noise. Oh, it's such a banging tune.
What is it?
Noise. It was called Noise. I literally just said
No, it was
Eris.
I'm trying to think of it.
I'm trying to...
Swerve. I'm trying to think.
Oh, you mean
Watch
pothole?
out for the pothole. Watch out for the pot. I don't know why I had to think about that like that.
I'm thinking the song. I'm thinking the song Jaden made.
Yeah,
with
you're
Tyler.
thinking of something completely different.
You're thinking pothole, and I mean, I don't know, no distance.
And then I think like Icon came out just around that time, and then they were having a weird beef where like Jaden like claimed they were dating or something.
And Tyler's all like, yeah, that's not.
That
true.
was a weird thing that.
No,
happened.
they even cleared it up on Noise. The song I literally just said. Like
I know that was weird though.
They're like, yeah, this is a joke. Like y'all know this? Y'all know we're joking?
No, well, I figured that out, but like at the time, everybody was like confused. Even like Charlamagne the God picked it up on the Breakfast Club, and I was like, "Oh, this is like legit? Okay."
I swear.
As if Charlamagne the God, like, I doubt he's listening to this podcast, but you know, as if he's a credible news source. I mean, I know time from time he can sound intelligent.
Imagine this be the one that blows up, and then we're just here talking smack about like
Charlamagne the God.
Fuck Universal, fuck whoever you just said.
I never get invited to the Breakfast Club because of this interview. Yet Hot 97's like, hell yeah, dude, come on through.
It just imagine Nardwuar just pulls up. Y'all remember when you said fuck Universal?
I'm gonna be like, wait, you actually watched that shit? Oh Lord. Well, yeah, we would ask him what's going on. Okay, sorry, I had to do it. So one thing I've been doing, I did last year, was I had kind of reignited my love for Marvin Gaye, and this is something I actually bought pre-pandemic right here. This is the What's Going On. Let me pull it out here real quick for you folks. The limited edition 10-inch single edition of What's Going On. Now, if you're not familiar with What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, it was an album released in 1971. It was about a lot of things. It was specifically about, what's going on in the world, Back then, there was the war going on, but also it could be perceived as, what's going on with brutality in the world, police brutality. The beautiful thing about this track right here is it can be perceived many ways, and that's what I think has made it stand the test of time. I think that's also what's made this album itself in full. Yes, I have both versions, as you can see here, folks.
I took him to Target and he bought this.
I mean, I'm glad you made me do it, because this album is just beautiful. Not only does Marvin Gaye have the voice of an angel that'll make you go, relax. This album particularly will make you feel emotions. It'll make you just feel things. I mean, as long as you're not racist, you will feel things.
Do we put it? I don't think we put a disclaimer for that. No. If you're racist, stop watching.
If you're racist, don't listen to the. I mean,
fuck you.
Well, yeah. No, we'll just say it. We'll just go with that one. I much more prefer that one over. Hey, if you're racist, fuck you.
I mean, if they're racist, why would they be watching?
Why would they be watching this? I mean, really.
Yeah, they would have clicked off the moment they saw me.
I mean, yeah, they clicked off the moment they heard The Breakfast Club. What's that?
God, not that movie. With the nice freeze frame at the end.
You mean the movie that everybody references because that's the one thing we have to reference from the 80s if we want to sound like we're cultured?
No, we got the Power Glove, even though that sucks.
Really? The Power Glove?
Super Nintendo?
I mean,
Mario.
Super Nintendo's cool, but...
Mario.
I mean, yeah, wasn't it like some movie called The Wiz or something? The Wizard that tried to like advertise the Power Glove as this like awesome thing, even though they were never actually using it.
The Power Glove was shit. Jesus Christ.
What was the point of the Power Glove? Okay, so you have a controller in your arm? Like, seriously? That was an idea in the 80s that they tried to push on people?
I mean, they tried to push VR in the 90s.
Yeah, but the
was
technology
shit.
wasn't there yet.
It was still shit, though.
The technology wasn't there yet. Remember that Nintendo thing, whatever it was called?
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
What the hell was that thing called?
I don't remember the name of it.
It was the weirdest VR thing ever. So, like, not only was it not in full color, for some reason you, like, put this thing over your eyes.
It was like a red tint. It was like a red tint.
Yeah, and it's a red tint. And most of the games are, like, incredibly out of print and expensive if you want to even try them. The only game that actually looks okay is Waterworld, of all fucking things in the world. The rest of it, it's like, why do I mean, this game is fine, but, like...
But why?
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 Why do I need Mario Tennis in VR?
Dude,
like,
Mario Tennis VR? Bro, Nintendo, you better be watching this, because we just gave you $1 million idea, and we want our cut.
No, because we don't have publishing with Nintendo, so no.
Oh,
we don't
forget what I said.
No, we don't want our cut. No.
We don't want our cut.
No, don't say that. They'll take this video down. No.
What have I done?
What have you done? No, that's only if you're playing Nintendo games. Well, I don't know. I think they fixed that, haven't they? I know there was a problem a couple years ago where people were playing Nintendo games and then they were getting taken down. That's been fixed though, because I go on Facebook Gaming and I always see people playing Animal Crossing now.
I like Animal Crossing.
So it's almost like Nintendo has embraced this community instead of like trying to push them away. I don't know. Copyright's weird how that works.
Copyright is very weird.
There are like certain game companies that'll like instead like give you the option to still play the game, but like have like this little toggle in the menu to go get rid of copyrighted music.
Okay.
That's actually pretty cool. I think one of the few games I saw that in was, oddly enough, Friday the 13th, which obviously has copyrighted music in it.
Oh yeah, it does. I forgot about that.
Because that's why we could not get every single Jason in the game, because like they were like, yeah, no. Which is why we have the Savini mask instead of the actual Jason Goes to Hell thing. Because, like, they were like, yeah, we don't care what tier you get. We're not going to let you put that in the game. Yeah, Friday the 13th, remember? That makes us old now. We play that game now, still kiddies. Yeah.
We still play that game. That game looks awful.
Are you playing that on a 4K TV? Because the game does not look any good in 4K.
I am playing it on a 4K TV. The game looked bad in 1080, and then I switched to 4K.
The game did look bad in 1080.
The game looked okay in 1080.
No, it didn't. Why are you lying? Why are you being nice?
I don't know. It didn't. It's fun. All right. At least I can make fun of every time.
It's fun, but I'm kind of getting tired of them never fixing the glitch where literally a screwdriver is floating in like mid-air, and yet they just won't fix it no matter how much people address it, to the point where they have just gotten rid of dedicated servers. They're like, yeah, you know this game? Goodbye, we're going to the Predator game now.
Oh god.
Yeah, that game just looks like Call of Duty but Predator. And I don't care if Arnold is in the game. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not going to buy a Call of Duty clone where you basically just play Dead by Daylight with Predator. I'm not going to do it.
You can play Screaming Dead by Daylight. Just do that instead.
I mean, I was done with Dead by Daylight, and then I figured out that everybody was much more better at the game, even in casual. So I stopped playing, even though I really wanted to play.
I feel that. Every time I hop on CSGO, I'm just trying to have some fun. I'm like a level 8, I think.
Then again, I can jump into Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not to confuse everybody, the remaster original, not the new Modern Warfare that they made that takes place in Modern Warfare like right now. Two separate things for some reason because Call of Duty.
I found it so confusing.
Call of Duty always does this all the time when they literally...
They're like Drake. They release something every year, and we never know if it's going to be good or not.
Don't you talk about Drizzy Drake that way.
He is
the god. No, he is.
I said what I said.
I mean, oh boy, we could get into that discussion. Because, like, I have a love-hate relationship with Drake. I either...
And so does The Weeknd, which is our next segue.
The Weeknd, before we get to that, I mean, in high school I used to love Drake, and then like I started not liking that content as much, but then I loved Take Care at the time, and then I don't like Take Care, but I like some of the songs on Take Care now, but Like, some of his stuff is great. I love Passion Fruit. Don't care for the rest of the album, but this song is kind of cool. But like this one, I never can like sit down and actually genuinely listen to his full albums. But I'll always pick a song where I'm like, okay, this is a vibe, and I really like this song. Like Laugh Now, Cry Later. Mm-hmm. I love how positive it is, and how like he just doesn't give a shit about anybody on the track. Like literally, he's just like, literally, like, let's just, like, laugh now, cry later. I love it, man. I just love it. And I know some people are, like, going to say, oh, it's overplayed. I mean, just don't listen to radio. Like me, just don't listen to radio. Get a music streaming service. Find what you like,
Yeah.
I know that's, like, easier said than done because, like, most cars have a radio. And, if you don't have a streaming service and you don't want to pay for it.
YouTube.
Obviously YouTube, but...
Not everyone has internet everywhere.
I'm like understanding that YouTube doesn't really pay their even like
MP3
creators.
Player. Figure it out.
I mean they're so easy to obtain now too. But then again, they do make it so hard. Like if you like, let's say you want to legally buy it from the artist, they make it so complicated now to do it that way. It used to be just like you could go on like this site and do it that way. And I could be wrong, and there could be a streaming service that does this now. Like, maybe, like, what the hell is that old one called? I can't remember. It's never going to come to me because I don't remember what the hell it is. I think it was in the Facebook movie, but I can't remember.
You mean the Social Network? Don't just call it the Facebook movie.
What is the Facebook? It's the Social Network, the Facebook movie.
I like it.
It is, though. That's what it's all... I mean, it's more than just Facebook.
It's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie. I mean, whether or not it's all truthful... that's probably not true.
Mr. Zuckerberg has never denied most of the stuff from that
movie. Then again,
movie.
I mean, the movie doesn't really paint Zuckerberg in a positive light either, so I find it interesting that he actually genuinely likes the movie. That's interesting.
We don't like Mark Zuckerberg, but me and him, we constantly use Facebook every day.
No,
so it's not like it's a bad...
We're all being hypocrites. We all use Facebook.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go on Facebook. I mean, I think that's the problem with why everybody uses Facebook. It's so easy and like integrated and like bam, it's easy right there to use. You can check feeds of news and like, do this, sell your stuff. I mean, Facebook went from this little social network to literally you can sell shit on there. That's the name of the movie. You can sell shit, you can legit check news articles now, like and make sure they're legit, obviously by going on Snoops. Sometimes like I'll get like CNN, but other times I'll be like, why am I getting viralhiphop.com news segments that aren't even true? And why do I care if Madonna photoshopped some woman's head onto her body? That's like, why is that news to me? I don't understand.
I don't know.
And not to say that content creators shouldn't be like credited for their things. Like that, obviously that's scummy that she did that, but I'm just like at the same time, why are you writing a whole news article on this obscure website about this?
Yeah, I do think most of the stuff is kind of dumb, but I'm still gonna use Facebook.
Yeah, well, no, obviously we're never gonna give a Facebook because Facebook is our overlords. Please support Mark Zuckerberg. Free speech is not a real thing. I'm kidding. Well, no, not really, but And Alvaro's just awkwardly looking into the camera.
The Weeknd. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so The Weeknd. I have a love relationship with him.
I love that man. Man is great. If I were to nail down my favorite album, my next favorite album, I know we were talking about Drake, and I'm like, that goes on to my next segment. Kissland. I'm sorry. I do love After Hours, Beauty Behind the Madness, Starboy's okay. My Dear Melancholy turns 3 today. Happy 3rd birthday.
Starboy's okay.
Hold
the plug.
Shut up. My Dear Melancholy turns 3 today. The trilogy mixtapes. Bangers. But if I were to really nail down what I like, my favorite album, it'd definitely have to be Kissland. I'm sorry. They're all really good, but Kissland has a nice little place in my heart. I don't know. I like it.
As you can see, we are not friends anymore.
Yeah.
JK.
I started listening to it recently too, and I'm like, I knew what the main story was. It's just basically The Weeknd talking about the tour life. One of the most unrelatable subjects you can really talk about. But he did it in such an amazing way.
But he always does talk about like unrelatable things, and somehow yet you're like enthralled when you're listening to him.
I think
it's weird.
The title track Kissland is the perfect, perfect song that pretty much encapsulates that. He's just talking about how he goes on tour and he might hook up with people and he's, doing all these crazy things. He's going through so much to the point where his doctor asks him to start taking other medications and he's mixing that with alcohol. I don't know how true this is. Keep in mind.
Keep in mind, it's probably also just a story, just like how he played a dramatized version of himself in Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not saying this is exactly quote unquote what he's doing. But also keep in mind, obviously, we can't relate to something like Wicked Games where he's literally telling a stripper, "I want you to tell me you love me." And if it was anybody else doing that other than The Weeknd, we would probably say, "Oh, that's corny." But it's The Weeknd doing it. Obviously,
we love that, man. And to an extent, The Morning, because the Morning is basically a song about how paying for girls to have a good time isn't that different from people paying for his music. Keep in mind that mixtape was free at the time.
Pause. He did eventually start selling it. Yeah, but he had to change a bunch of stuff, obviously, to do that.
The 10th anniversary hit, and that song. Now the whole mixtape is.
And
original.
It's also now streaming on Tidal.
Yeah, it's streaming on all streaming platforms. The original one, which I think is nice because I've only heard the edited, the newer version up until the 10th anniversary one came out.
Do understand that also he can't afford to buy the original masters now, so of course he's gonna do that.
I mean, yeah, he's The Weeknd.
He can of course do that. Not everybody can do that, mind you.
Yeah.
It is of course The Weeknd, so he can just be like, "Hey, this original thing that I have put out? Hey, now you can go listen to that." Obviously, there are problems where masters get destroyed because of hurricanes and shit, and then The Weeknd's like, "Hey, I got the original masters right here."
I know, it's basically that Toy Story 2 thing where they deleted 90% of the movie, but that one woman who was on paternity leave had a backup on her computer and basically saved the whole movie.
Could you imagine?
Dude, imagine a world with no Toy Story 2. I mean, it's the worst.
No. The movie would have been done either way, but
it would have taken longer.
Imagine in a world where they had to redo the whole movie. What would it have been like?
Okay, controversial opinion.
Oh no.
Here's the tier list for the Toy Story movies.
No, I'm scared.
We're going 3, 1, 4, 2. 2 is the worst one, but it's still an A+ movie. It's just
So he's gonna pick a movie with less superior animation. I'm kidding. I know. I understand.
Okay, but it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. I have a fun time watching Toy Story 2.
You say this, yet the movies are still great.
All the movies are great, but if I were to really rank them, Toy Story 2 is actually the worst one. Still an A+ movie.
I think the thing for me is I replayed 2 more than 1.
Why?
Because it had a VHS tape of it back in the day.
Okay, that makes sense. You're going to defend, we got the average Toy Story 2 enjoyer. But I think for me,
it was more I just resonated more with 2 over 1, and that's just where it was at. I was I appreciated, Jesse's character and all that, and the whole story arc and all that.
It adds a lot to the feature films, but if I were to really objectively look at it, I don't like Toy Story 2 as much as the other ones.
Yet, they're still great movies.
They're still great movies. I'm not going to deny that. They're still great movies. But that's me being weird.
For me...
Kissland, go stream it. It's good.
But hold on. Before we end that, for me, I still love the 4th movie. My number one complaint with that movie is I feel like Buzz was just kind of pushed to the side and Woody was given the story arc.
They made him like Patrick from SpongeBob, and I really
felt
didn't like
weird
that.
about that, and I'm like, there's no real explanation. I mean, I know the real reason why they probably did it was because Tim Allen was getting controversial at the time. Oh, you're not aware, are you?
I am so aware of it, don't worry.
Because but putting that aside, I was a little confused why this happened. There's no real explanation because keep in mind, we established that Buzz is completely not aware at the first movie. So that makes sense why Buzz is pretending he's not a toy. He thinks he's a real astronaut. So how did we get from 1 to 4 and where now suddenly he's kind of being, well, he's obviously where he's not a toy, or he is a toy now. I was a little confused by the subplot, why he's acting like a dumb Dumbo Where in the third movie, he's, like, not acting like that at all. But then again, I did think of maybe, like, that whole, like, mind trick maybe messed him up, possibly.
But, like, now we're going into the Toy Story lore. This is a Toy Story video.
Keep in mind, 3 was supposed to be the real ending. They were supposed to really... I've heard rumors that they were supposed to really all die. But then they all said, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Dude, I remember watching that Incinerator. That messed me up as a kid. Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, it's dark. I cried, but, like, it didn't mess me up because, like, weirdly enough, I think about death a lot, so, like, that's nothing to me, really.
Yo, you good?
Oh, yeah.
You good?
No, we good.
I'm gonna keep an eye on you the whole day
Keep
today.
in mind, Disney movies prepared me, like, hey, look, you know that person that's there in your life that's your mother or father?
They're gonna die.
Yeah, they're gonna die. Then again, it was really more the movie The Fault in Our Stars that was like, yeah, you know that person that you know that has cancer? Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. They're gonna die.
Have fun with them either
unhappily.
way. Oh.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Just have fun.
I know that's the message of the movie, but the end message of the movie is literally,
They're gonna die.
first of all, don't look up to your heroes. Also, you're gonna die. Oh, you're not aware of the part of the movie that's also the book where, like, she's, like, trying to get to the writer, and then the writer's just an asshole.
I've never seen that movie. I know Ansel Elgort is in there.
You should see that movie.
Controversial man, Ansel Elgort's in that.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hasn't that been, like disproven now, though?
Is it actually? I thought it was.
I haven't heard nothing about it in a long time.
Neither have I. I bring it up because I don't know.
Kevin Spacey.
You don't like that man. No. We don't like him.
You thought I was going to defend him, but we don't defend pedophiles in this podcast. No. With that said, see, you thought I was going to defend him again, but no. Do not get mad at me for that, please. All right. His cameo in Austin Powers 3 is very controversial now.
Oh my God.
They also say that Jared Subway thing, so. Yeah. I still love that movie. I love that movie. I mean, you can ignore Kevin Spacey in that movie. He's in it for like 5 seconds at most. Then again, it is also on brand for him. He's playing Dr. Evil. If you think about it.
He really is.
It really is. I know. Now we've gotten awkward.
It has.
All right. So let's get all happy and like talk about Thundercat because this man.
That album is sad still. He's talking about Mac Miller's death.
I know, but like, okay, what I think is interesting about that song, it is what it is.
It's still funky.
What I think about Fair Chance with that song is, it weirdly enough kind of came out when the pandemic was like starting. So that's one thing I kind of thought about when I was listening to it a lot. But then I also did think about how close he was with Mac and like how that song, I do listen to that in very different lights. Sometimes I listen to it for that reason, then I listen to it for this reason. It doesn't make me sad, but also this album is really, first of all, Grammy award-winning album, by the way.
Childish Gambino's on that. I love that, man.
Childish Gambino. But it's kind of weird because most of it's very happy. And then once you get to a certain point, you realize, oh,
he's sad.
He is sad in this album. He's just saying it in a very funky and, very spunky way, if I can say that word. You're like,
I don't know.
Yeah, of course you can.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of analysis videos on how Thundercat writes his music to make it sound funky. And to me that doesn't matter. To me, I have fun with this album no matter. Oh, Jesus Christ. You gave me the lame one. I have a clear one. I mean, that's so cool, though. Jesus, that's really cool.
You gave me the lame one.
It's see-through.
As literally that one is, like, limited edition and, like, worth a lot of money still.
I'm kidding. I'm grateful for it, but whatever. Yeah, it's a solid album. Thundercat was sad.
I mean, Thundercat is like this weird little thing where I think he just is like from the 70s and he just got cryogenically frozen and like he got stuck here. And then people were like, dude, this guy's pretty good actually.
I love him. He's great on To Pimp a Butterfly too.
Weirdly enough, I was really hyped up to go see Mac Miller and him on the swimming tour. And then like literally, I still vividly remember the day it happened where I was like literally on break at work, sitting down, and I looked at my phone, and literally the TMZ article said, like he's not here anymore. And I still remember for like 5 minutes I tried to get up and go back to work, and then literally just like started like physically, I couldn't move. I like sat down and I like cried for like 20 minutes. And then I had to go home. I could not do it. It was awful. It was terrible.
You okay, man?
Of course I'm okay now, but like at the time it was like...
Yeah, it's shocking. Mm.
Well, it's not just shocking. It's like, you know...
Someone you looked up to and, yeah, they're gone.
It's literally somebody I looked up to because, like, you know, going through things like, you know, sobriety and all that stuff. And then, like, finding out that, you know, he'd relapsed before, like, his death, unfortunately. But, you know, he was just such an influential person, not only because, you know, musically, he just evolved and, like, you know, he was going places that, you know, we didn't think he was going to go. You know, he just started off from this kid just rapping on the microphone, and then, like, well, he just ended up, like, actually starting to evolve and, like, actually bettering himself in the music industry. And, you know, obviously he went through positives, you know, like dating a superstar celebrity, and then negatives, like, you know, them breaking up, and then, you know, him trying to, like, fix himself, you know, mentally and all that. And, you know, just, I want to leave with this, like, mental health is very important, honestly, and you should check up on people, I would say. I don't know how we segued into this, but...
I mean, it happens because, like, music as a whole has so many deep messages that you really don't realize until you start listening to it. You know, some people look at the music just at face value. Oh, it sounds good. Oh, it sounds sad. But some people take their time to analyze everything. And you really understand that these celebrities are kind of going through the same thing a lot of normal people go through.
I do feel as if it gets miscategorized as people go, oh, but they have money. Well, I mean, look at people like Chester Bennett from, like, Linkin Park. Of course, you know, he was in the biggest band in the world, and yet that didn't make him happy. He had a wife, he had kids, he had a big house, and yet at the end of the day, all the things he went through, it still couldn't mentally make him happy because, you know, a lot of people have said, you know, money doesn't make you happy. It's really just a matter of you working on yourself and doing a day-by-day basis check-in that you have to do. And sometimes if you're on tour all day, you can't do that. And it's unfortunate. Now, there are some people like, you know, Elton John that did make it out alive. And then there's, maybe this is a controversial opinion, people like Eminem who checked themselves and said, okay, I gotta, like, stop, you know, I gotta stop doing this. And, like, you know, get sober and all that. And I'm not saying everybody has to get sober, because truthfully, that doesn't work for everybody. You got to find what works for you. I'm not saying also at the same time you can't do that, because if you think that's what you need to do, honestly, I would say you should talk to a therapist and see what they say about that. Don't try and, like, let's say you drink a 6-pack every week, and you decide you don't want to do that anymore. Your brain might not like that if you decide not to do that anymore. So be careful with your decision on that. As somebody who has gone through similar things with that, like, your brain is going to be like, what the fuck are you doing right now? You know? And then there are people who just decide not to do that from the get-go, and, you know, big ups to those people who decided to do that if they choose to do that. And then there's people like Steve-O, who literally did drugs for years, and they're like, yeah, we gotta stop, or I'm gonna die, like, literally gonna die. Wow, that was...
Yeah, very sad.
Wow, we just got all, like, somehow we just got deep. I don't know how we did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still important to talk about.
No, like, honestly, I feel as if in the last, like, 5 years, it's been something in the discussion in public of mental health and all that stuff, you know.
Because you still have people who are like, oh, but they have everything, they should be grateful. And there's some people who don't get it. And I feel like
a lot of people don't get it.
Having an intelligent discussion with as many people as you can about mental health is probably the best way to spread mental health awareness. Not just, you know, through, I think to an extent, through social media posts. There's stuff that's cookie cutter and whatnot. Do I necessarily think social media is a bad thing? No. But do I necessarily think it's a good thing? Also, no. But I think having an intelligent conversation with as many people as possible, saying, hey, here's what I'm going through, let me explain it, and if you don't get it, let me explain it even more if I have to. Take the time to, talk through it. I think that's the most important thing, because a lot of people don't understand it or don't get it and have a hard time trying to wrap their brains around it because they probably don't know what it's like going through or don't know anyone who knows what it's like going through,
Right. And I think it's just a thing of, for years, mental health has been perceived one way or another, and I think people are more open to having the discussion now
than they used to.
Mm-hmm. And I think one very important thing is, it would be considered weak to some people, and now it's like, well, you gotta open up and be honest with people, and also at the same time, you have to be careful who you do that with too. But at the same time, it's actually good to let out your emotions, but also just be careful about doing that on social media. Because on one way, if you word it one way, people can help you and be honest. And maybe just privately messaging somebody about it might be better for some. It's also a matter of what you say on social media. Because I've seen multiple people say this and that, just hammering themselves down. And I'll say this, you shouldn't do that. You need to check on yourself every day and it's easier said than done, obviously. Okay. It's not just an easy thing to do, because just our brains in general are very interesting things. They can either be our weakness or our strength. Gosh, wow, holy mackerel, I feel like a philosopher over here.
my man entirely Socrates over here.
And I think mental health is a weird journey that everybody goes through in a different way, and some people can choose to be inclusive or be open about it, and that'll be a case-by-case basis. I personally choose to be open about it because why the hell not,
I mean, sometimes opening up and letting it all out, I think a lot that is going around on not only social media, just on YouTube or other people's pages in general for vlogs. I mean, to an extent, vlogs or other content is that you have to be happy. You can't be sad. Happy is the perceived best, but to an extent, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to have a bad day, because it makes all the better days just better.
I feel like it's
okay to cry and let it all out. I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. Letting their emotions speak for them.
I used to fear crying in a movie. I think it was really more ever since an early age, that's where I just kind of decided I was going to let those feelings out.
Yeah.
But for this current generation, I really think it's people like Markiplier who are being more upfront with their emotions and and also people like Game Grumps that are also, being honest with their audience and can literally just play a video game and then literally talk about how they quit doing drugs that were prescribed to them because they decided that was not good for them anymore. And I think it's interesting that audiences can get this now, whereas in the early 2000s, obviously examples like Britney Spears, people were I don't think people were discussing mental health at that point.
The paparazzis were following her, and a lot of people thought she was in shambles. A lot of people didn't know what she was going through. She had a child. She was also going to have another child.
And not just that,
she was a wreck, but people did not take the time to, check on her. And I think now we're doing a much better job of.
It is a majority of that, but also keep in mind her parents were taking a lot of her money, and they were controlling her life to the point where she didn't have a say in anything. And also she was being objectified in the media every 5 seconds. I mean, literally there were interviews where they were discussing her body to her face. Could you imagine somebody doing that now? That's ridiculous.
It is so ridiculous. I think it still happens now, not as much.
Of course, but obviously there's a discussion of, people obviously David Letterman's not doing that anymore. He quit, or I mean he retired, but Yeah. But then again, that was more acceptable back in the day, and it's this fine line of weird jokes, on what's okay and what's not. All right. I think we're done here.
Yeah, this was a lot better than I expected. Because you were the one who was all like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a whole script. You just do whatever."
Well, hold on. I never said we were gonna script this.
No, you said, "Oh, if you wanted to script it, you could." I was gonna have some pre-planned stuff, but like ended up going on more tangent based, and I'm okay with stuff going more tangent based.
I was just more specifically saying if there was literally anything you want, which we didn't like have to cut anything because I think everything we said was actually like thoughtful and very provoking. Actually, I don't mean to brag, but
humble over there.
But yeah, that was a brand new episode of the Andrew Stedl Podcast, and I will see you later.
See y'all later.